I think we are already live. I am not sure, but it's connecting. Yes, we are live. Oh my god. Hello, everybody. Hello,
Hello, hello.
Joshua, our guest today. How
Hey,
are you doing?
pretty good. How are you, man? How's it going
Good,
today?
good. I told you already. You have
Excellent.
so because it's been raining here all day and it's gonna rain for like 4 days. So the first thing I saw was that beautiful sky of yours. And
Yes.
yeah, I mean, makes such a huge difference. But have you had how long have you had spring, summery spring?
We hit spring, well, summery spring. It was actually right before spring technically started. I was still in Atlanta at the time, and I probably went up to like 80 degrees. We were getting that. It's like, I guess 80 degrees, maybe about 20,
Yeah, I
21
I never
Celsius, something like
learned.
that.
I just always kind of guessed. I know when it's like very
Yeah.
hot, more than 100, it's like whoa, 90's hot, you know. So
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
good. And now you are in Savannah, Georgia. You said
Yeah, I'm in Savannah. We just actually moved down about a week ago.
you
Um,
moved.
and yeah, moved. Yeah.
Well, I didn't. Did I? I don't think I knew that that was gonna happen. Or maybe you mentioned, but I,
I did mention it to you. I think
you
what
did,
happened is
you did, and I
or I did
forgot.
when
You
we
were
spoke.
like in the middle of it. It happened. So how did moving go?
It went. It was it was a smooth transition, but it was very physically exerting. I'm stubborn, and I moved everything myself. I loaded the
No,
truck myself. I drove
dude.
everything myself. Of course I save money,
Yeah,
right? But it's like
absolutely. Breaking all music stereotypes. There you go. Yeah, no, I so I moved myself a few months ago, but you've got a whole family, so it's very different. You know?
right. And never,
Yeah.
hey, never try moving with kids present again. I'll never do it. I was like, you guys have to go to your grandma's or something because, whoo, I tried, man. I tried.
And you did it. I mean, you did it. You're there.
Yeah, we're here. We're here, and it's beautiful. The beach is 30 minutes away, so
Wow.
I can smell the water here, so that's the huge pull.
Yeah. Wait, but isn't
Huge pull.
Atlanta by the water? Am I mistaken?
Atlanta is
I
not by
am
the water,
mistaken.
so Atlanta is technically about 4 hours to the
Oh,
closest
it's much
beach.
in. Okay.
Yeah, and that's a trip for sure.
Yeah.
I'm 3.5 hours from Atlanta, but I make some money on the side, professional driving, so I hop in and skip away. I can 3.5 hours is light, light work for me. So yeah,
Cool. Cool. So, for
yeah, man.
anybody who doesn't know Joshua yet, he's a composer. We've met through music when he was actually in Italy a few years back. Was it 5 years back?
Yes, about going on 6. Yeah, about 5.5.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was 2015 then. So
summer
wait, it's
15.
summer
Yep.
15. Did you write that in here in Duino in Trieste?
I did. I
Oh,
did
okay.
not. I actually reflected on my time
Oh,
there, and sort of use that adventure and story because it was wild, man.
you had a wild
I
time.
don't what After I left the music festival, there was some really interesting stuff that
Yeah?
happened.
Like what?
I have
Do
to tell you.
tell.
Yeah. So so as I flew in through Venice, right? So I was returning through Venice and I had a night to myself. I was like, well, I'll just stay for an extra night and enjoy myself. So here's what happened. When I got to Venice, I went to see a movie. I'm shopping around. I find a nice thrift shop. Um, I went to go visit Stravinsky's grave, right? And
Yep.
when I got back to the mainland, I didn't have enough money for my accommodation. So I stayed in the bed and breakfast the first night. The second night, I was short money for the next bed and breakfast. Just living, and it was a biennial, so I was able to, go and see a lot of the
Yeah.
art. But so I had to hustle. I had to busk and get my money up to get another bed and
So
breakfast.
what did you
And so I just kind of I I took my literature folder, my art songs and leader out of my bag. I set up a little box and I just started singing art
Well, that's
songs, you know.
beautiful. And I mean, what better place
And
to do that?
yeah, absolutely, exactly, right. And there was a bit of desperation in that moment, but it was so beautiful because I was making these deals with the shop owners, like, hey, do you mind if I get one of your phantom masks? I'll sing in front of your store and kind of
No
promote,
way. I
what's
knew
going on.
nothing of all of that.
Man, it was the wildest experience because it's not do or die.
Yeah.
You're in the situation, you got to do it, right?
Shit.
Um, and I ended up getting the money, and I stayed in a bed and breakfast. I forget exactly where it was at, but it was called Eden, and I was like,
You
finally,
felt like it.
that was the best rest I've ever gotten, man.
Dude. That's wild. And so the piece, and I think we should listen to the piece.
Yeah, sure.
Having
Yeah.
said all of that, right? So
Yes.
the piece that we're about to listen, you wrote after.
Yes. I actually
Okay.
actually wrote that like in the past year. And the thing with writing, we'll break it down a bit afterwards. Let's listen.
Okay, so let's have a listen and we'll be right back. Enjoy.
Im wunderschönen Monat Mai, als alle Knospen sprangen. Im wunderschönen Monat Mai, als alle Knospen sprangen. I keep it thorough, nigga. Different attitude, I really get it now. Folks been saying it for years, I really feel it now. I'm in the building now, even though I've been around. Y'all just get to hear it now. I keep it thorough, nigga. Pristine adventures, summer 15. Didn't see the clean Sistine, at least we near it. Art convention in Venice, biennial. Bopping through the city by any means, get these pennies. Black mask in my Phantom of the Opera bag, all different types of cast, Croatian, British, attractive women who feel it, intercontinental swag, much rather pop my fly than pillage village. You really wanna talk high, I raised the living, praise the dead, met Stravinsky, had a leg up, sought other winnings, impulsive spending, more vaulted ceilings, gin with any juice, fresh squeeze, lemon hinting, wasn't many letters worth sending, wrote verses in the terminal, hooks while taking off, curses in America, French in Montreal. Had meetings with my makers, seen the writing on the wall. There truly isn't a spoon. Spot on with that one, dog. I don't need kites on the daily just to slice through the fog. Maybe more drinks and less lights. Blessed cause my set right. Make every move intentional like my chest nights. I keep it thorough, nigga. I keep it thorough, nigga. Different attitude, I really get it now. Folks been saying it for years, I really feel it now. I'm in the building now, even though I've been around. Y'all just get to hear it now. I keep it thorough, nigga. Im wunderschönen Monat Mai, als alle Knospen sprangen.
Hey, so I
Hey, hey.
think I think I didn't start the music. As in, I think I did, but I didn't. And then I did for like 30 seconds. Ugh. But I was listening to it on my own. Ugh. Well,
Okay.
let's do this. I'm gonna play it, so we won't hear it, but people can hear it in the background. Is that okay? Just for a second.
Yeah, that's fine. And I was gonna say I could actually play it off of my phone if
No, now
if
now
that
it's
helps.
playing. Now it's actually playing for
Okay.
sure because I see it. Yeah, so we
Nice.
still have a little technical issues from time to time. But so this that people are hearing right now, this is all you. Is that so?
Yes.
Cool.
With the exception of the sample. The sample is not me.
Cool.
And there's a bit of a repurposing going on there. But everything else, the production, the drum programming, the chordal pads, everything, yeah, that's me. And that's my vocals. That's Jay Xander's vocals. It's not Joshua Alexander. That's
They Jack Xander. Jack Xander. I like it.
Jay Xander.
Xander.
That's it.
Yeah. It's got a good ring. You wrote the lyrics, like all of that. That's you.
Yes.
Cool.
And I recorded it. I actually recorded it. I mixed it as well. Just try to do one-stop
Yeah.
shop, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that was, when did you write this?
I wrote that probably 4 months
So
ago.
that was recent, but it was a reflection on that time.
Absolutely.
Got it.
That's it.
So last time we spoke, I remember you said something interesting because, so I struggle with this as in struggle. I mean, other things are struggles, but I'm always just like 5 minutes late, not for work, usually. I'm like 2 minutes late to my first class. And so I'm 2 minutes late for all of them, because I can't take away 2 minutes to the first student. It's not his fault. And so,
Right.
But you said something very interesting that sort of impressed me, that you, when you were in Italy, you actually got this other sense of time that was much looser.
Yes. The flexibility. When I was in Italy, of course, our program, we had times to meet up and do things. But, the few times that I may have arrived late, I wasn't reprimanded the way I would be here in the States, right? And I'll never forget, we went to this performance at the Mozart organization in Duino. And, when we got there, I'm thinking, okay, we're on time, it's this call time, we're here. And everybody's still like chilling and cooking and drinking and like things haven't really got going yet. And I'm like, okay, so everything's just chill. And then it started to happen more and more. I went to like a wedding party or something. I think a mixer at one of the Airbnbs in Duino, and things were chill. It's just that ebb and flow, that flexibility. It's like everything's prego. It's not a problem. It's fine.
Wow, that's great.
We'll get there. Let
You
everybody
see,
flow. I wish we would have done
yeah,
that.
you see, I learned to work in America, so in some way I'm much more like that. I will be again 5 minutes late, but we'll try to be on time, because I know people can be and so I don't know why people. I guess it depends who you work with. I don't know. But there is definitely a difference there's a whole different mentality. Of course, we can talk about this forever, about the differences between the US and Italy per se. But it is definitely enriching. So today,
Yeah, exactly.
this afternoon, you asked me how my day was. It's been good. I did a bunch of work. I practiced and all of that. I'm recording tomorrow. And so I'm in that zone.
Is this the
No,
album?
not yet. This is videos first. So it's harder. Yeah.
Right.
Because you have to look pretty. No, but I was listening to the radio, and very interesting. And I wanted to ask you about that. So they were talking about the concept of identity. Concept of identity, right? What do we mean
Yes.
by identity and all of that? And one of the guys, there were two guests who were sort of presenting two different opposing, not really opposing, just kind of a little bit, yeah, quite, views on what identity is. But this one said that we have multiple identities. In the sense, and his point was, of course, he elaborated, and he talks about identity in an existential way, which is also like an active way, how you exist in the world, as opposed to an ontological, like, what is identity, right? Saying, I have a different identity as a professor, say, as I do as a father, for example. What are your thoughts?
Is this the Jordan Peterson
Oh
interview?
no. And Jordan Peterson really thinks he's smarter than he is. Ugh.
Hey, he had an interview with Tim, I forget the guy's last name, and he was sharing similar ideas, and it was really fascinating. I just watched this video like in the past month, and I felt like it was a great way of articulating identity. I had never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Right? How there are these nested identities, and, you know, in a general sense, I'm one thing, but in a more specific, more niche sense, I'm something else. And I can coexist as all of these layers of identity. And my identity forming or meaning making as I'm living, you know, there's the me right now, there's the future me that's impacted by the past me, there's the, similar to the Summer 15 track, there's the current interpretation of my past me that then informs one of my future me's in a different way. Identity is something that I think we struggle with as humans, just probably forever, probably until, you know, you get old enough to where it almost doesn't matter anymore, you know, what your identity is, except to yourself. But especially when you're navigating through professional life, school, family, you know, we struggle
for sure. And what was interesting though, that in these ways that they were talking about it, identity was always linked to the collective in a way, but it was self-determined. And I like both of these concepts in the sense that you are not, of course you are you, right? But you behave differently. You are a different person when you are, I am with my students than when I am with my parents, say, or my friends, you know? And it's not that I'm being fake, but that those situations and those groups that I all and then he was talking about identity, not, you know, because then the other guy was saying, well, but this is not identity, this is just like participation in a group. But, you know, he was making the distinction that, you know, depending on how rooted you feel in a group, then that can become part of your identity.
Right. And it's a diffusive kind of process. You're right. I definitely think it's determined by the collective, you know, because if you go into the concert hall with popcorn and one of the rackets like you would at a football game or a basketball game, you know, you're not going to be able to coexist in that environment. No. But there's also the choices that we make as forming ourselves and experimenting to see what can exist in these environments, you know, these ecosystems. So, yeah, it goes both ways. You know,
for sure, because those ecosystems as well also change. And academia, you're in school right now? You're in.
I'll be picking back up in January, so I'll be starting my master's.
That's right. Academia is one of those spaces I feel that has been changing, has been going through some like weird things lately. Just, you know, I mean, in the US, but all over, I feel, you know, they're strange identity, you know what I mean? No, but academia is struggling with that, you know, with that sense of, okay, what do we represent? Who are we, you know? And I feel like, of course, the more people you have that are different, the richer the identity that academia can be, you know, because all of these things, as you said, can coexist. Yeah,
and you know, this past couple years, I could imagine, you know, with the pandemic, with everything happening, you know, the conservatory of academia, not necessarily a conservatory in a musical sense, but just conserving the traditions of academia. Once you're in the world's ecosystem and things are really shifting out here, you have to kind of look at yourself and say, oh, wait, some of the shit we've been doing, we probably shouldn't be doing. We need to switch it up. We may need to relax a bit. But I think it's a really good
I
thing.
think so
It's a
too.
great
I
thing.
think so too. I think that this is a great time to listen to some more music.
All right, let's
Yeah?
do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna make sure
Yes.
that this one plays right. Okay, so I'm on
All
Simpatico.
right.
Tell us a few things about this piece.
Simpatico, that was one of my pieces for my senior recital and for my undergraduate, my degree in composition. Unfortunately, it was during the pandemic, like right at the beginning of it, so we weren't able to get live performances done. But we will one soon. We will.
Okay,
Um, so
cool. Let's
let's do it.
listen to a bit of Simpatico. And it's playing. Okay, we're back. We're back. Let's turn this up.
Yes,
Activate.
yes.
Okay, here we go. Very nice. So yeah, looking forward to the live performance. I mean, I probably won't be there,
Yeah, me
but
too.
I'm sure it's gonna happen soon. Things are reopening. Georgia has like completely reopened, right? Uh,
Georgia never really
yeah, you were
closed.
telling me that. That's wild. That's
Yeah, but they've officially
yeah,
reopened.
yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, Atlanta's been Las Vegas for the past 3 months, pretty much. So,
Wow.
you know.
So, Jig Xander, tell us what you're doing right now. What are some of the things you do right now, musically?
Oh, so right now, when you're composing, you're just always writing, right? So just writing things, and you get these grand ideas and not so grand ideas, and you say, "Oh, I'll just jot it down. Let's get it started." But right now, I am heading sound design on a podcast on the Mental Moment or a Mental Moment
Yeah.
podcast. Go subscribe. Go check us out on all your favorite podcast streaming apps. Um, so that was a really interesting sort of detour, I'd say, and it's adding a skill set to what I can do holistically. But as a composer, you don't really grapple with audio as much. And of course, I have my performance arts background in hip hop and production. But when you're composing, you don't think about melding those as much. It's not as easy, especially when you're going through the
Uh,
academy. Um, so sound design, this is simply creating sound effects. Trying to create some type of interest and even narratives sometimes amidst the conversations that the hosts are having. Sierra Shaw, fantastic. She's a professor down at Georgia State, actually, in acting and acting history. And then Jaya Huntley, well, she's a therapist, a mental therapist, And so they get into some really interesting topics on the podcast. And I get it afterwards and I listen and I'm like, all right, let's see if I can carve out some humor here. What type of sound effects could I add in certain places, transitions, things that just kind of liven it up and make it more of a production rather than just two people
Yeah,
talking
I
and you can't
see.
even
So
see them.
so
Right?
when I upgrade, I will hire you. Is what what I'm thinking as you're talking.
Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
No, that's
man.
great. And we have the a clip from that. Is that the opening? What or
Yeah, that's actually how this opportunity came about. A friend of mine, a friend of a friend, recommended me to Sierra, the producer, and she's like asking if she could get a jingle done. And she just had the title of the song. She gave me sort of a bit of a melody, and I said, "All right, sure, I'll run with it." And so I composed out just a nice musical bed, made the beat, produced it, recorded myself, wrote out some more lyrics that I guess pertain to the Mental Moment podcast. And yeah, it was a done deal. And that kind of we swung it into I said, you know what? This is great. Why don't I just be your sound guy? And I'm slowly kind of getting more involved and hands-on because we were doing everything remotely because of the pandemic. But yeah,
so you all
it's
in
it's
Georgia?
a jingle. Yes, we're all in Georgia.
Cool. So let's listen to that. And since it's short, I think we can just like sort of stay on, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
do
let's
that.
do it.
Okay. Suck.
A mental moment. All you need is a mental moment. Take a breather before you blow it. Don't hold it in. Posture or pretend. Just release and you feel far better within. A mental moment. Hey, all you need is a mental moment. A mental moment.
With Jaya and C.
Very nice, I said, as I turned back on. Yes. Okay. And so, cool. So, lots of things. I'm very happy that we sort of got back in touch, right? I really like that. It's very easy to lose, of course, touch with people, and I really like seeing all these different paths that I didn't even you don't know because in school
Right.
it's pretty much like, oh, you're studying. In my case, I'm a pianist. You're studying to be a concert pianist, and that's great, and I'm still working on it, uh,
Yes,
but
yes.
there's so much more.
There's a lot of stuff
There's
that, like, infinite number of things. There are things that haven't even been created yet that there's a need for it. It just comes someone with the correct background and skill set will just kind of happen to create this thing,
Yeah.
It's a thing. You just do your thing.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is that we study and all of that, and we get, but so much of what enriches us we learn just by doing, and that's it. And you gotta say yes, right, to the opportunity that you're
Yeah,
given.
right.
Work and figure it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Now, to be fair, I'm such a theoretical person. I will read and research and study something until I feel like I've almost like mastering a chess game, like memorizing a chess game. I'll just plan and work and work. But then at some point, or now I'm learning actually, you don't even have to plan that much. Just get in, figure out the controls to the
Yeah.
game, right? Up, down, X, square, and just start playing. And then you'll figure it out as you
I,
go. And that'll actually even better inform your research. So
For sure.
you're absolutely right.
So, last question. Your graduate degree that you're starting, is it in composition? What is it? What's the focus?
It's it, it's actually in sound
Oh,
design, and
cool.
it's yeah. So it's a because the composer path. If you want to be a professor, which ultimately one day I'd love to be a professor, that's what I will do. You just go straight through, you terminate, get your DMA or PhD, and you do your thing. Um, but I want to write for major productions. I want to write for film, TV, advertising. I want to produce and develop artists and popular music, and I still want to write concert music. Right? How do I do all those things if I'm focusing on solely, getting placements and commissions with, symphony orchestras, or
Yeah.
getting, you know, teaching opportunities and placing music there. Um, I'm going to do the sound design degree to really kind of plug in some holes on my audio and more technical side of things. With sound editing, which that's an instant go as far as getting a job on a movie set, right? If you're not the hired composer, how else as a musician do you get an opportunity to be in the movie? Well, you can perform and use your instrument, but voice is my primary instrument, so unless it's a choir or I'm the soloist,
Yeah.
there's not that many opportunities for that. It just gives me a extra technical kind of booster, and allows me to gel everything together. Because I get some interest in sonic art and maybe getting things placed in exhibits and museums. There's
Oh.
also the podcasting and audiobook world. It just
Yes.
opens up so many more avenues, and I'm still researching this, so I don't know if I'll have to go and get my Master of Music in Composition to then go on and get a DMA or PhD in composition.
Uh,
But I'm looking for a very progressive program that would let me have an MFA in sound design and
uh,
proceed on to get a terminal degree in composition. So
yeah,
that's the
man. Sounds very
idea, man.
exciting. Music is everywhere. We all need music. So, you know,
Yes.
thankfully there's people like you that do it.
Hey, man, I'm just trying to get in where I fit in, man.
Yeah.
You're doing it too.
Yeah, yeah. Cool, man. So, very nice talking to you.
Yeah.
I will talk to you soon. So, Jake Xander is on all the socials, right? Like
Yes, I'm on all the socials.
all the
You'll
socials.
Yep, you can interact with me on Instagram at jxander.world, or jxanderworld, excuse me. And I have a Twitter, I have a Facebook, but you won't find me there. I'm never there. I'm never around. So Instagram's a good way. But also, just hit me up.
All
I'll
right.
put a comment on the YouTube and let's touch bases.
Cool.
All right.
Thank you, everybody. Next week we have an actress, good friend of mine, an actress from Germany, but she's in Vienna acting, Jean-Marie Bertrand. And 2 weeks from now, just a little preview, but just because you're from Georgia, your fellow Georgian, Mitzi Oku, is gonna be here.
Nice.
Yes, founder of Where Are the Black Designers? So big move,
Hey,
but yeah.
yes, good stuff.
So cool stuff. All right.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in, man.
Thanks, man. I'll see you soon.